Well, hello and good happy Tuesday, friends. It is time for a little more scrap happy fun today, this Tuesday, and it's sunny here in California. And hello from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tina's here, Nancy, Victoria. Linda, Carolyn, welcome everyone. Teresa's here. Susan, hot, steamy Texas. Okay, Susan, you'll just have to stay indoors and scrap. How about that? Whenever it's a just unreal outside, that's my favorite activity. How about yours? I hope you have some time to enjoy the fun things, which for me is always working with my photos and pictures and uh, paper and stickers and all that good stuff. So welcome. Kim is here from Ohio and it's 95. Oof, yes. And Sherry's here, Renee's here, and Judy's here. So good to see all of you guys. Carrie, welcome, welcome, Jean. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining in. And as you can see, today we are going to have some fun with our Border Maker system. I actually got a request from someone who said, hey, I'm new and, I don't know what this thing is. Could you do a little refresher? And I have so many videos on my YouTube channel. Sometimes they get lost. I do have a tips and tricks for the Border Maker system, which really goes into some fun, different ideas. And I do a lot of borders live and, kind of fun things that you can do with your Border Maker system. But today I wanted to focus just on some really quick formulas, and I'm going to have you help me here today as we go through this, because I think this might help you whenever you're stuck or whenever you're like, gosh, I just want to do something with my border cartridges, and how do I do that? And these are simple formulas. So we're going to take a look at that. So a big welcome, everybody just hopping on. If you are new and want to find all the places I am, here they are. I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram mostly. I have a website where I have retired products and lots of specials and goodies. And so today's special, I do want to just mention, one second here, let me pop it up on the screen. One second. Oh, I can tell. I'm already going to just start with my chit chat cough. Okay, let me do a quick screen share. And so today, my special is because we are talking about Border Makers and the Border Maker system, you can get your pick of any Border Maker cartridge for $5 off. So if you do the math on that, folks, that's about 25% off on any Border Maker cartridge. There's a couple that I didn't put on sale that are kind of hard to find, exclusive punches that are no longer available, but most of my inventory I put on sale for $5 off all my Border Maker cartridges. So if there's some that you've been kind of waiting or checking out, maybe after today, you might want to pop into the shop and see what's new. So if you've never seen my shop before, there's always lots of good things. And Tuesdays is usually when I change it up. I'll either put a new special on or add a new product or do something fun on Tuesdays that correspond with my live stream. So today, there they are, all those fun Border Makers on sale. Woo! Yay! Okay, so I also will be just a quick update. Let me just come back here. Quick update is I just wanted to say I am tired. Okay. I am tired. I am behind, and bless you all for hanging in there with me. The among many other announcements, that one of the announcements we got is that the trimmer and the trimmer and bag bundle has been delayed. We were hopefully going to get that shipped this week, but it has been delayed till September. And I actually did sell out of all of the bags and the polka dot bags with the new photo trimmer that I had purchased before they sold out on Creative Memories site. So those are gone. I actually was at Pinners, California this past Friday and Saturday. Another reason I am so tired. I'm still catching up. So all day Friday, all day Saturday, Audrey and I worked the Pinners show here in Southern California. And the big thing was the trimmer. Everybody loved the trimmer in the bag. So all of my pre-orders, I apologize, they are sold out. So now we are just waiting for all that to come in. Also, I just have a Daiso update. So many times I was able to order those fun little cartridge, containers for the pen sets. And I have been coming into roadblock after roadblock. So I am hoping today is the day that we can pick the little containers up and I can fill those orders that are patiently waiting in my shop. And unfortunately, since I cannot pre-order those anymore, even here, like I would usually go into the store and say, hey, can I order 50 of these? And they'd be, yeah, sure. They'll be here next week. Now I cannot do that. So I think unfortunately, and they don't always have them in the store. So sometimes it's just like showing up going, well, do you have it? It's kind of one of those things. So until I can find a different replacement, I'm going to have to just discontinue the FlexPod with the containers in my shop. But hopefully today's the day for those. So that was an update. Daiso, the trimmer and the bag, and there is free shipping going on right now. So if you haven't heard, this is the time to do it. Grab $80 of your favorite stuff and take advantage of free shipping because they don't do that often. And it's just wonderful to not have to go, ooh, am I going to hit, 150 or ooh, what is it? But if you hit 80, you can get free shipping. So, and I should mention, you know what? I'm going to just show you guys. I should mention, I'm going to bring it up. So let me do a screen share really quick because this is important. You're going to be glad. We don't always check the website, right? So there it is, free shipping until September 6th. On order. So hopefully the new trimmers will be in the first week of September and we can still get them with free shipping, crossing those fingers. But a few things went on hot. Okay. And I want you to know, I told you, okay? So when they go on hot, so you can see right here, the Autumn Cottage Buy It All bundle is on hot. The reason that is on hot is because the gourd punch is on hot. So if you look at the gourd time punch, do you see the little hot sign? It's just like hot donuts. It's hot punch. The gourd time punch is hot. So if they sell through on the gourd time punch, then the buy it all bundle will also be sold through because you can see the punch is part of that bundle. So if you want 10% off and you want that punch, you better get it sooner than later. What I'm saying, $61 for the bundle, you're only $20 away from free shipping. So for $20, you also might want to get the other hot item, which are the photo trimming cards. You guys, I am super excited about this. I have some ideas. Can't wait to get those in my hands. But those are photo trimming cards for 7 of them, $6. And those are hot. So I think those will probably sell out, today or tomorrow, maybe the gourd punch too, because people love their tools. And also just keep in mind the rustic fence BMC is back in stock. Woo, that's a good one. Okay. So I just wanted to let you know that because it's always super important, I think, to know what's going on in the world of creative memories, right? Yes. Okay, right, Carrie? Yes, you have yours ordered. Thank goodness. Okay, so and Lisa said she just ordered her rustic truck border punch and the gourd punch with all the new fall papers. Me too, and I can't wait to get them in. I'm excited. All right, you guys, are you ready to play a little game? I want to play a little game with you. So let's just go back into Border Maker Cartridge land. And you guys are always so helpful whenever I'm stumbling for trying to figure out a price or the name or whatever. And so I thought today it would be kind of fun to play a little game. And what are the 3 types of Border Maker cartridges that we have at Creative Memories? All right, so are you ready? Go ahead, type it in the chat. What are the 3 types of Border Maker cartridges that we have? And I have a sample of all 3 in no particular order, but what are they? And you can just kind of guess at what they're called. So go ahead and do that and let me know what you think those are. All right, so here we go. The knockout. Yes, Ingrid, that is one of them, the knockout punch. Woohoo! Julie's the chain, the knockout, and the attached. Yes. Ding! You got it, Julie. Here we go. The edge. Yes. Then Carrie's got it. The chain, the knockout, and the edge. Yep. Edge, knockout, change. Yes, you guys have it. Woohoo! Yes, yes. Keep going, guys. Let's see. The attached, that's another word that we hear, like the edge, attached, and what was the other one? Attached, knockout, chain, attached. Yes, you guys are getting it. Woo! Ta-da! Here they are. So let's go through them. This is what kind? This is the tiara blank. And that might give it away because some of the names of these have what type they are in the name. Not all, but which one has the type of chain? Oh my goodness, I said the word. Which has the type of border in the name? Okay, tiara chain. Yes, the chain. You guys got it. Woohoo! I'm gonna... All right. So this is the tiara chain, which means, yes, it is a chain Border Maker cartridge. So you can see by the backside that basically that's punching out both the top and the bottom, right? Out of your paper. So chain, yes, this is called the dotted banner. Ta-da-da-da-da-da. Chain. Yes. Okay. So there's a chain. How about this one? Do you guys know the name of this one? And does that have what type of Border Maker in the name? I think maybe. Let me hear it. Anybody? It is yes, Lynette, the wine chain. So that is also a chain type Border Maker. Okay, so I have some other chains here. This is the snowflake chain and the dotted banner windows, something like that, dotted windows chain. And that is also up there. Okay, so let's go on to some others. What type is this one? How about this BMC? We like to call them BMCs, Border Maker cartridges, BMCs for short. Yes. Is this a knockout, a chain, or an edge? Those are kind of the shortened versions. Yep, you guys got it. All right. The white chain. I know there's a little delay. But how about this one? and I'm going to flip it over. So sometimes if you're wondering what kind it is, then yes, here they come. Yes, 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 yes. Lisa, you guys have it. Both my Lisas. This is an edge, and that means it cuts one side free of the paper, but it stays attached to the edge, to the paper on the other side, right? So we have the barn and fence, that's an edge. The citrus slice, you can definitely see that once you flip it over, that's an edge. Okay, so I'm going to put my chains over here. These are edges, you can see those. And how about this one? Ta-da, let's flip that over. Yep, that's an edge, sunshine. And this one, the rolling sails, that's an edge. Now, oops, I think I have the canoe, blank, 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 is a chain. And I was just kind of pulling off random ones that are still in stock or that I have in my shop. So how about the third category we haven't demoed are these two. By default, they're last, and these are both knockout style punches, right? So this is the confetti, and you can see how it punches through the little pieces of the confetti. And this is the candy cane stripe, right? So you can see it's punching through. So basically, to me, the back of the borders really tell a lot about what it's going to do. And there's not a good, better, best. They're all just fun to use, right? And they all treat our paper a little differently. So what I wanted to share today too is once you get familiar with the types of Border Maker cartridges, the other thing then is to go, well, what can I do with them? And so what I found kind of typically in creating borders or in creating layouts is that I can kind of, not always, it's not 100%, but I can kind of group styles into 3 different categories also. 3 different types of border makers, 3 different categories. Now, you can do these 3 formulas, I'm going to call them formulas or categories, with any type of border maker, or even you can see this one is a standalone punch as well. So some of these ideas are for, excuse me, standalones, but I also just kind of, they're good demonstrations for the types of formulas that we're going to share today. And the first formula is kind of what I call, either square or circle it up. So this is that square pattern running down your page or running down, creating a border. And what's beautiful about this is that we have the most amazing tools to create this type of border. We have the square and the circle punch, which makes this type of border so easy. So we're going to take a closer look at that in a minute. But you can see if this is just that repeating pattern of using whatever design you pick in a square or in a circle, like in concession down your page or across the bottom of your page, right? So it's kind of a repeating pattern using a shape. So here's an idea for that. Here's another idea. Again, this is with a standalone punch, but you can do the same thing with a Border Maker cartridge. And these are just our squares, but with the corner rounder, rounding our corners. Here's one with the new Rustic Fence Border Maker cartridge. Again, squares kind of repeating down the border. Are you getting how these are kind of coming? They are a formula. When I look at designs, I love what the designers come up with. But for me, what's even more fun is coming up with the formula behind it. This one is with the new Rustic Trunk border. Is that just cute? Like, I just think that is the cutest. I can't wait to make that border. So that's one type of formula is, repeating squares, rectangles, patterns, whatever, shapes, repeating shapes down with highlighting the punch on that shape. Okay, so it's a highlighted punch border. The next one is what I kind of just call a layered border. And these layers, you can use different punches, or you could use the same punch in different colors, like different ways of using that same colorway punch. And this one actually is a great example because it has both. This one has the Tent and Tree Border Maker cartridge lined up here on the bottom, and then behind it is the tree line. So those are two different punches creating layers on your page or on your border. This one is the same idea, which is repeating those layers, but look how different it looks just by switching up the color, right? So we're just switching colors, repeating that pattern, moving it, creating movement by switching it down a notch for the different layers. So easy to do, but so effective. So this is layers, and you can do that, like I mentioned, with multiple different punches in lots of different layers, lots of different colors. There's so many ways you can do that. I was going to try to find some more in here for the layers. And once you start looking for kind of these, even this is a layer repeating that, once you start seeing the style, here's one with the circles down the edge. You can see that. Here's one, layers, 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 layers. You can start going, oh, right, I can do layers. Oh, right, I can do shapes. Or the third type that I like to call is kind of a point of interest type border, right? And a point of interest type border is meaning that you're going to use the punch or the design of the punch, but you're going to have a point of interest along the border. Now you can still have point of interest on these, like this one has a sticker, a title sticker here and a title sticker here. Those are points of interest. But these are also, just kind of using the style of the Border Maker, but kind of having just a big, nice point of interest. So we have the confetti, right? We just saw that one, the confetti knockout punch. And then this was just cut into strips. And then they have a really nice point of interest here. Here's another one. Point of interest is this little cluster here. Point of interest is this little cluster here. And same with this one. These are knockout. This is the Tire Tracks knockout. This was just put on the blog, so you could get the instructions on how to do this one on the blog. But you have kind of that same repeating. So look at that, right? Very similar, repeating diagonal patterns with a point of interest. Point of interest. Okay? So you start looking for similarities, and then you can find formulas, which I love. Same thing. Now this one is going down the border, right? So you have repeat, 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 point of interest, and then just keep repeating. So again, a nice big line of the border, and then a nice focal point of interest, or focal point, you might want to say. Okay, so those are the types of borders when I look at, kind of general borders. And of course, there's always outliers. Like this is not 100%. But when you start thinking about that, do I want to do a repeating pattern? Do I want to do kind of the Border Maker in different colors and have a big focal point? Or do I want to use my shapes and kind of separate my borders in shapes? So that's kind of what I found. So let's take a little closer look at how we can do that with different types of borders, right? And wow, welcome everyone who just hopped on. Switch to YouTube. Okay, did I lose Facebook? Did I lose Facebook? Oh no, Sharice is still here. And oh yes, the sheets are all from the blog. I just brought these. You can go to the Creative Memories blog and type in borders, and then they will have the pictures, and then most of these also have instructions on the blog. So just go to the blog tab at creativememories.com. I know, so good. So a lot of times now, all of these come with instructions. This one hasn't been posted. I was looking to see if they've posted the new ones, but they will. Sometimes it takes them, a few days when a new release comes out before they have that posted on their blog. Okay. And Yudi says she just organized her border system this past Sunday. Yeah, now it's time to use them. You bet. And Suzanne's here. Yeah. And they do, Lark, yes, they do still sell the circle and square punch. And the bear has been, it has been so hot here. I'm sure the bear is somewhere cool because it is not cool in here at the house. Okay, good. Glad Facebook was, Debbie was in the car. Okay, good. All right, so we're still, I know I've had a few little glitches with Facebook in the past, so hopefully those are worked out. Okay, so what's so nice, and Lark, these are still available, the circle and the square. And what's so nice about these shapes? So I brought out my 13 by 13 mat so that you can see. Sometimes when you're looking at building borders, right, it's good to have a constraint. So this inside here, of course, is your 12 inches. So you can see I punched 6 white squares, and those, if you just give that little bit of, space around those shapes, those 6 squares fit in this 12-inch space really nicely. So then the next thing you do is, well, then how do we tell what we can do within our shapes? And there's a couple ways you can look at how you get your Border Maker shape into a formula that has a square or a shape, right? This one actually looks like a rectangle. It looks like they punched the truck, and I think it's 4 trucks give you a 12-inch strip. And so, they just cut probably the shape to fit the truck. But let's take a look at this and just go, okay, so what if we want to add that little bit of snippet, like how cute is that little fence on the border, to a strip, to a shape, to a square. So there's a couple things you can do. You can see here, and sometimes it's good to grab a piece of scratch paper, or just a little bit of leftover cardstock, so to speak. And that's not it. I'm grabbing some. And then use your Border Maker system like a punch, right? So, and we'll demo how to use it as a Border Maker system in a second. But sometimes to get an idea of what it's going to look like, you can just use a scrap paper and then use it as a border, right? So let's take this one, which is the snowflake chain. And you always put it in with the teeth up into your border unit, the housing unit, the Border Maker cartridge housing unit. That's what this thing is. And then to release it, you just push the button, and the gravity will help it slide right out. Okay, and then when you push it in, you want to make sure you push it in until you hear the click. And the reason I know for some of you, you've been around, you're like, Lauren, I know this, but I actually had someone say she wasn't able to use the punch because it was too hard to push down on this. And I thought, oh my goodness, I don't think she has the Border Maker system, because once you put the cartridge in the housing unit, this little guy does all the work for you. So you can use this very easily as a handheld punch. So that's just kind of why, again, and I know, we might have some close to my heart people who've never seen this before, because they never had this tool, right? So you can pop that cartridge in there and look upside down and kind of see where things are, and then just give it a punch. That had little snowflakes pop out. So one thing I wanted to mention too, and I left these little confetti pieces here, is that what's kind of cool is sometimes you get punch outs that you can also use other places, right? Like these fun little pieces that come out. There's so many things you can do with that. So there's the punch out, okay? And so now let's just do this. Let's grab a color so we can see. Let's grab some red. And this is my little scrap box. And let's do a circle. So I've got all my squares out here, but let's do a circle. Because remember, you can do the same thing with both squares and circles. So I can see that this, and the standard size for a Border Maker cartridge punch out is 2 inches, right? So if you put this down, the punch out on your grid, you're going to see that repeating pattern, let me scoot it up, this repeating pattern is always 2 inches. Why? Because when you put that in, the Border Maker cartridge, those 2 inches are going to add up to 12 inches, right? So you punch it 6 times and you get a full 12-inch design. So when you have a 2-inch design, every border cartridge is going to feel a little different. Like this one, this goes across, this is a 1 pattern, right? And this goes across that entire 2 inches. So would I necessarily do this one? Let's take a look. Hold on a circle or square. Maybe not, because that whole pattern goes across the entire, let's put it in the right way, Lauren. That whole pattern goes across the entire 2 inches. Okay, so if I do, I would probably, instead of using a circle or square punch, I would go and grab my custom cutting system and create a circle or a square, or use the trimmer and create a square that this design would work on. Otherwise, it's, as you can see, it's going to kind of fall off the edge of the punch. So what do you mean? You can put this in here, and this is another easy way. Actually, we might be kind of creating something cool here. You just never know until you play, right? So it's, what does that look like to you? I don't know, but it's kind of interesting, right? But it's not the full pattern, but when you punch it, you're going to get part of that pattern, right? So I don't know, maybe that's something cool and you could do something fun with it. Whereas when we have the other side, here we go, of the snowflake chain, right? You're going to do the same thing and come in here, and you're going to get the center piece and then just a little bit of the edges of the side pieces, right? So let's see what that looks like with the square. And this is what I'll do. Like, do I like that? Ooh, maybe can I put it in diagonally? I don't know if I can. Possibly diagonally. I don't know. No, it's not really going to work. I'd have to punch it again for it to work diagonally, but that could work too if we wanted to try that. Let's see. I don't know. This just came to me, you guys. This is kind of fun. So let's see. Now the Border Maker system, if you had this in your Border Maker system, you wouldn't have to guess about that like I did, and you wouldn't get this weird little thing in here. So like I would punch, if I had this to do again, I would punch that with the Border Maker system. But yeah, now you can see I could create a diagonal pattern. There we go. Isn't that fun? Let's punch that with your tools, and then you can put that. Let me get a square punch, since I used the square on your square, right? Because I used the same tool. Where's my, how did I do that? There it is. There's the design. Okay. So it's all lined up because I'm using the same tools to do the same thing. So you can create patterns. Here's another one I did. On this one, I punched the knockout. So you can see, you can use, this is a chain. This is a knockout. So I punched the knockout. Let's see, confetti here. Okay, again, using it kind of like a punch. And this is the one that gives all this cute little actual confetti for you to play with. And then take that and put that in your square or your circle maker. Again, this is 2 inches. This is 1 3/4. So it's going to cut off just a little bit of your design, but not enough to really make, make it look bad. So there we have it, kind of in there. Pop it. And then you've got this really cool knockout design on your squares. So how fun is that? Like, you can take that and layer it on a color, and then you have your knockout style design. Now let's do the third type, which is a edge punch. So here's the barn and fence. And so I've already punched that, and you can see the pattern there. And so for this one, I would get most of the barn and a little bit of the fence with my square. So let me go ahead and pop this in here. And so I'm going to take just a little of that pattern off the edge. Okay, so I've got it in there after I punched it. Sorry, let me get it, hold it straight. And then, boom. So creating these kind of edge-to-edge designs are really easy with our tools. So there's the edge punch. This is a chain punch. Here's another chain punch, edge punch. This is the sailboats. Now, of course, another way you can do it is to pop it directly on your punch and then trim it. So say what we want to do for this one is I don't want to cut off the sailboats. So then it's as easy as grabbing, let me grab some blue, a blue scrap. Oh, too many blues. Okay. And let's take, and we know that the pattern design is 2 inches, right? So now we can just take, this is going to be similar as the truck, right? We're going to use the punch kind of as our guide. And so I'm going to cut, let me see, I think these are straight. I never know in my scrap box if my pieces are straight. So I'm going to make a 2x2 square because I know that the pattern repeat is going to be 2 inches. And so now this whole pattern, let me find my scissors. I know where they are right now, which is a good thing. Oh goodness, let me see if I can grab them out of there. And I'm going to just trim off the edge for this punch, right? And then now, since I have a 2-inch square, I know that that pattern will fill the 2 inches perfectly, right? So just kind of remembering that our tools are there to help us create these designs and make them really easy to make. Now I'm just using, some basic colors and white, but once you add colors from collections and, you know, doll it up with stickers and, you know, all the cute little things, the embellishments and so forth. It just, the whole thing comes to life. So this is another, again, this is using shapes. This is another one which I would say a you know, focal point or point of interest type banner, right? Same over here. You've got the cute little trucks moving along and then a little focal point at the end. Okay, so easy enough. And then, of course, you know, your layers, you just build with layers. So you're going to want like a 2.5 by 12-inch strip to use your little squares on. And then you build with the different types of borders from your different cartridges, right? Okay, so that's using our shapes. Let's scoot these off. Any questions on that? Let me know. Pop that in the chat. And then now let's take a look at how we can do some layers. Okay, so something like this where we're going to build paper with layers. So let me grab 1 second. Here we go. I'm going to do an enchanted layered border here. And see, again, I'm just going to dig out a few other fun things we've done here. This is with the tiara chain, kind of creating a border. That way, these are from past workshops we've done. And this is using the circles, different layers here. But let's create one with some paper. And can you guys guess which border maker I'm gonna use? This one, and let's create a background. I like that one. And let's see. We might just use some white in there too. Oh, I like the green horses. And I do like this green dot paper too. So, okay. So now let's do a layered border. And we are going to now use the Border Maker system as a system. And so let's start with creating one layer out of the dotted banner chain. So I'm going to start with this, and you pull the tray out from the backside. I still remember the first time. Do you guys remember the first time you tried to use this? I could not figure it out. I had the hardest time. I'm like, what the heck? How do you use this? And then now it's like, I can, you know, you do it in your sleep, right? Okay. Let's do this. A bear paw. I saw the bear video. I know. We need a bear paw, right? We have the paw prints and that, but yeah, that'd be fun. I need to do some bear pages for sure. Sure. So, and so let me explain again on autopilot. When you have your tray out, you push your paper all the way to the edge of the tray, right? Line it up, and then you put your arm down so that it holds your paper in place. And then you take the tray, and that's what I couldn't remember how to do, and move it out of the way. And then you start at the top, and these grooves, these little teeth here, fit right in the slots on the back. And for anybody who has never used this system, what that makes is a foolproof, pretty much, foolproof line. So those teeth lock in that spot on your Border Maker system. and then you just pull it out, kind of move it down to the next, and there's little notches on your arm that show you kind of where to line things up. So there's a little notch on your housing unit and a notch on your arm, and you just aim for those two to come together. And you just keep going down, and since those are all 2-inch designs, you get a perfect 12-inch border when you're all finished, right? So now let's take, that's a fun border cartridge. I just thought this would be so cute for a birthday page or a girl's page or, you know, anything like that. So now let's do the tiara. And we're going to do the same thing. Now, here's something also to know. When you punch using the Border Maker system, one of the reasons I love the Border Maker system is that when you punch, you don't necessarily see the icons on the paper. So, like if you want a gradient paper, you can just take a Border Maker cartridge and punch it, like say this one, and you're really not going to see what the pattern is on the paper. It's just going to look like you have different colors. So most of the time, most of our punches, it obscures the pattern. That's kind of what I want to say. So if you are punching, just keep that in mind. Like you're not going to necessarily see on the tiara chain that there's little tiaras on this paper. Okay, that's what I mean. So, and then what I want to do is also, just in case, I have the tiaras and those points are going this way, right? And on my paper, the points are going this way. So if I wanted them to be going the same direction, I am going to want to cut this paper. And I'm going to want to flip my paper so that those tiara points are going the same direction. My little fireworks punch was in the way. Okay, so now you can see my tiara points are going that way. So when I punch it, they're going to be going the same direction. Just a little detail to keep in mind. But like I said, once it's punched, you probably will not notice that they are tiaras. But let's check it out. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's see. Yeah, you can kind of tell. So I am glad I paid attention to that. And those little tiaras are going the same direction that my tiara chain is. Okay, so we have that. So now we have this really cute banner. We have another layer of tiaras. And I don't know, I'm feeling maybe we could do one more layer. Let's see, something across. Ooh, let's do the confetti. So, and this is where you just kind of have fun and play with your different layers. So I'm going to use this blue paper as kind of a contrast color. And let's do the confetti punch out of this. Okay, and we go here. And does vellum cut well? It sure does. Carrie, I've been thinking about you, my friend. I hope you're well. And I know you got some borders, my friend. Okay, so here's the confetti. Now we're going to layer another. So we've used 2 chains, and this is a knockout style. Okay, and one more. So you can see the knockout style, when you punch it, just leaves everything. The paper is intact, and then it just punches right through that paper. Okay. So now let's put this together. How are we going to layer it? I've got some white as a background. And let's just kind of see. Oh, and look at all this fun confetti now, too. Oh, I want to use a peekaboo pocket and make a little shaker. Wouldn't that be cute? Oh, we could go to town. We could go to town. Okay, so now I have the tiara. I think that's really cute, kind of on top of here. We could do white, or we could also do a pattern behind this with, you know, kind of just getting into the ideas. But the white is kind of cute. So there is a layered border. I'm going to bring it up close so you can see, right? So you've got a tiara, you've got the confetti knockout, and then you've got this really cute swoopy dotted banner chain. And then to kind of finish, so then I would just cut the blue wherever you want to cut the blue, put it on the white, or should we just do it? Let's just do it. Let's just make it, guys. Let's just do it and make it. And let's see. Let's start. Where do I want this? I'm not quite sure. Do I want the blue? Do we want the blue? I do like that on the blue. Okay, so let's first start with sticking this down. Let me get my silicone mat. And the repo. So you can kind of see how we build, you know, so there's no instructions for this. Again, just kind of using that formula. So this is creating layers. This is the formula where you're just creating layers. And for this one, I'm using different types of punches that go together. And I did another video, Tuesday video, and I think I called it like quick formula for your border maker, or quick formula for your page, something like that. And I used the citrus slice and the thirst quencher border, right? And layered those. So easy to do. So easy. I don't know if I have that handy. Again, using those in layers, different kinds of layers we can do together. Okay, so now let's put the tiara chain on there. Okay, build that right up here. I know, Carrie, we haven't done borders in a while. I was thinking about that. I'm like, ooh. So Friday night scrapbooking, actually, there's still a Friday left in August. 2 extra Fridays in August. So Friday night scrapbooking will be the first Friday in September. And so there we have the tiaras on top. So now we can see even, do we want to put that on a different paper? Let's see, what do we have? Where did my kit? Here it is. There was a cute, oops, let me pull this one out. Really cute little star. Ooh, I like that. So instead of white, let's go with that. So I think I'm just going to cut the blue to go right under the dotted banner. So let's cut it here. And then we're going to layer this on top. Now, if I wanted that confetti to pop a little bit more, you could just take and cut, like, I think we'd probably do like a 1-inch strip of white, and then just pop that white on there. Yeah, that's kind of cute. So let's do that. So many layers. This one's got so many layers. Okay, hopefully, can you see? Okay. And then pop this on here. And then we're just going to put this on top of the sparkles, and then we can cut the other edge off. Okay, so layer, 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 all kinds of layers. And now we're just going to cut that to fit. So let's see, I haven't really been measuring. I've been kind of basing this off of the borders, right? And I'm going to create just a little edge detail, about 1/4 inch. Okay, so this is coming out to be 2 3/4 inches wide. Oh, and if you wanted to go really special, you could even put in a fancy blade and edge that with a fancy blade. Okay, so that's a quick little demo on how to use this for repeating patterns. I mean, layered patterns. And then, let's see. To finish it off, you might just do a little bit of a focal point, right? So you could grab a layering shape. I mean, you don't have to grab a layering shape. I love layering shapes, I'm just saying, because to me, that just makes that all work out. And you can put that and or even the dream. Oh, that would be cute. Okay, I'm changing my mind. I'm gonna put, I like that dream there. And you could even pop that up on a foam square. Oh, and look at this, dream little darling. Okay, I'm gonna grab my foam for this one. Oh, that's not my foam squares. Ah, you know what? I did take them with me to Pinners. So let me see if I have a backup supply. Okay, well, we're going to pretend this is up on a foam square. Shoot. I think they're still packed away somewhere. Okay, but just pretend we're going to put that up on a foam square. I think I might need to just use a little powder so that it doesn't stick. People have asked, Lauren, what do you put in your powder holder tool? I know I've talked about this. Mine just has baby powder, and you don't need a whole lot to just de-stickify it, just a little bit, so that you can kind of, you know, move it around. And then let's do a cute little heart up here. So, you know, play around with it, add your other little doodads, but then you've got kind of a focal point. This one's cute, dream little darling. And you know, oh, you could get your glitter pens out and add some sparkles that way too. So fun. And you could even grab some of these cute little stars, add those on there, and you have a fun little border. Okay, so this one is layers, 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 layering it up. And again, same kind of idea. If you want to just create those layers with the same punch over and over, and you're going to have a look like this with your different colors. And you can go horizontally all the way across, or you can cut it and create that pattern just like this border. Isn't that just cute? Cute, cute. Okay, let's talk and wrap up with the, well, we've kind of done a little bit of that with kind of a focal point border. And let's see, which one do I have out? Let's see. Let's do something like this. But what we're going to do is use, what are we going to use? Let's do the wine. Let's do the wine chain. Or, I don't know, the barn and fence. Or the rustic fence. Okay, one more thing. Let's see. Fall. Let's do a fall one. Since fall is coming, fall. Here's autumn harvest. I don't have the brand new fall in my hands, but you know, autumn harvest was just so pretty too. So let's grab some papers from here. Oh, I know I've made so many things out of this. So I'm just grabbing some scraps to see what we can do with this one. And there is vellum in this collection too. So this one again is going to be about the border. We're just going to repeat patterns with the Border Maker cartridge, and then use the paper as the highlight, right? So, oh, I have so many leftover scraps. Okay. For this, I do love this wood. Let's go ahead and grab, I don't think I pulled it out. Let's grab the rustic fence. Guys, my rustic fence is blue because this is from old company. And it doesn't matter whether your cartridges are blue or black or even OMFL did their own colors, green and white. They all work the same. Okay, they all work the same. And once again, I know you guys, many of you know the trick on if your paper is not quite long enough, but you want to use that scrap, just grab some Post-its. Aren't those the cutest Post-its with little kitties on it? And then just put enough on so that it's your handle to your Border Maker system has something to grab onto. Okay, and then that's a great way to use your scraps. So this one, we're going to make that fun little rustic fence. Okay. And then this is an edge style, so I'm going to need to cut that. And we can trim that into whatever size we want, right? So we're going to do a vertical type border. Or actually we could we could do this as a horizontal. Let's just layer. It's all about the layers. We could add a little bit of vellum behind there. That's kind of fun. And actually, you know, I'm feeling we need to punch some vellum with this same Border Maker cartridge. I think it's just going to add kind of a cool effect. So let's do that. And same cartridge, the fence. So you can see punches vellum just fine. Creative Memories vellum, I think, is so nice. It's a thicker vellum, and it's just so fun to work with. Okay, this is almost going to give like a shadow layer to the fence. So we've got some vellum fence, some brown fence, and even with the vellum, we could turn it, see if we might get a little opposite pattern to it. There we go. kind of like it's off in the distance, you know, kind of going off in the distance. Look, I already have a wave cut for some of this paper. That might be kind of a fun layer. Or we have the flip side. We could do both. Could add that layer and some plaid. And then all that's left is to add a little spotlight, right? So we've done some layers here. And so I would just cut this blue, keep it here, and then we would just add a spotlight. Now, if you wanted to make this into a vertical border, you know, then you could just cut little chunks. You could do those 2-inch chunks again, and you'd end up with 6 chunks down. Or, you know, just whatever. If you wanted a 1-inch wide chunk, you could do that, a 1.5. With this kind of a pattern, you could do anything. Now, on this, since the pattern repeat is definitely a camera and a heart, it makes sense to kind of chop it at that repeat pattern. So everything's kind of up to you and how, you know, your cartridges play out. But this one would be so fun to then add in your spotlight or your focal point, right? And these embellishments from last year were so gorgeous, and they sold out so fast, right? I mean, I missed the ball. I missed the ball on those. Maybe we want, instead of those blue leaves, we want some pine cones. But you guys get the idea of how you just layer and then create that focal point. Or here's some. Can you tell I like the pumpkin spice latte cup? There we go. Got to have the pumpkin spice latte cup in there. And then you could add a fun little title, or, you know, have fun with it. But hopefully that makes sense. So this one is really more about creating those layers and then a nice big focal point with whatever products you are using, whatever collection you're using. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Melissa, that's an easy one to do. And the new fall collection has vellum with it as well. So you could do the same kind of effect with the new fall collection too. Yeah. All right. So, any other questions? I'm glad you, yeah. Thank you for answering questions in the chat. I appreciate that. Okay. I'm just checking the chat, and Karen needed a break. I get you. And welcome to everybody who just hopped on. So I hope that gives you some easy formulas to think about when you are building with your different Border Maker cartridges. So again, the ones I went over, the 3 formulas are a focal point, creating a focal point and using your border kind of in the background. Then we also talked about layers, right? And we did this fun layered border over here together, kind of falling off, using the Enchanted Princess collection. And this one is with the, I think this is Life at the Lake, right? And this has the Tent and Trees Border Maker cartridge. So same kind of an idea, just layers and switching up the different types of cartridges or switching the paper for your cartridges. And then the first one we talked about was creating, oh, here they are, using our shapes. So using squares, rectangles, or circles to create those different types of places, like a little home for your punch shapes or your border shapes. And then these come back to the spotlight type, the focal point type banners. borders. So that's it. And Carrie, I'm so glad you're back in the country. I was thinking about you. All right, friends. So if there aren't any other last minute questions, I'm going to let you go play with your tools now and have some fun with the Border Maker cartridges. So grab them, get them out, use your tools, have some fun, and remember those easy, quick formulas for when you are creating. Okay, and until I see you again, I hope you take time to craft some joy. Bye for now.